Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today? Well, I don't know why I took such a thick inhale at the beginning of recording this episode rather than, I don't know. I should really inhale and then start recording. That just kind of feels weird. It feels like I'm holding my breath before recording a video. But anywho, what are we going to talk about today? Great question. Don't know. Let's figure it out, Let's see how it goes. Excuse me. Good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 10:55 PM on Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. Tomorrow being April Fool's, I suppose. I will say it's already, of course, April Fool's in Japan, so all my catch games already got April Fool's stuff going on. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do for April Fool's, to be honest. Am I going to do anything for April Fool's? What did I do last time? Normally I try and do something like very small and just be like, yeah, this will be a nice amusing thing to do. I do have an idea, but it actually requires a lot of commitment, so I'm not sure if that's something I'm going to necessarily do. I'm trying to remember what I even did for previous years. Like last year was actually a pretty decent good one. I pretended it was like a simulation or something. One of the years before I did like an MS Paint animation or something, but it wasn't. I did it live, and I just found it incredibly funny. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what we'll do. What if I just record the entire thing, put it in reverse, and then just play it? That could be funny. Could it be funny? Maybe it won't be funny. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. It's April Fool's. Such is the way. To be fair, actually, when this gets uploaded, it basically is April Fool's. Or when it gets published, just say. Because it goes up at midnight my time. Anyway, let's actually find a conversational topic to talk about. I don't know. I must feel like so lost at the moment, being like, oh, what do I do now? I don't have the thumbnail art I need to draw. Well, technically I do, but it's like, no, I got a whole year for that, question mark. I will say, I did download the Tomodachi Live demo. It's a long story why. It's mainly because, in our Umimusume guild that me and a friend are in, someone sent a quiz being like, oh, which Umimusume character are you? And I did it and I was like, oh, my friends would love this, or some of my friends would love this, because some of my friends love doing these personality quizzes. I find them quite fun as well, to be honest. But they're just sort of silly things, things you don't take all too seriously. Umimusume also has like an insane amount of characters. Yeah, I sent it for my friends to do, and it was good fun. One of my friends, I actually got spot on with what I guessed they would have got. Another one was also in their top 5. I don't even know if I gave one of those persons one. I got Serious Symboli, if you want to know. Serious Symboli. Do I think she's very much like me? Not particularly. I mean, she's definitely like, she'd probably be like top 10%, I think. But she's a bit more, I don't know. Hard to put. She's perhaps a bit more theatrical than I am. But maybe that's not the case, I don't really know. I found it amusing. Who did I predict, I guess? In my head, I predicted I'd get Majora Ramono or Symboli Rudolph, or something along that lines. I think Symboli Rudolph was like sick or something. I don't know, I think it was like you have no interest with Symboli Rudolph, and I don't even know what Symboli Rudolph likes apart from puns. Anyway, not a point. That's neither here nor there. But so yes, I downloaded the Tomodachi Live demo because I'm like, my friend's been wanting me to do the intro personality quiz thing as well to see what colour I'd get. I did it because I was like, okay, well, they did with Umimusume because I'll do this for them. Tomodachi Live is strange, I would say. I didn't play that much of it. I played basically the tutorial until it got to the title screen. So I remade my person in there. Like my me. I should probably update my Switch me as well because my Switch me doesn't actually look like me. But this one I made on Tomodachi Live actually decently looks like me, I will say. To a certain extent. I guess I don't do my makeup exactly like that, but it feels representative. I mean, I will say I do my eyeliner wings exactly like how I done it on my me. Those are the same glasses I have. I do my hair like that reasonably often. I don't do it during winter, normally during summertime when it's hot. Which is basically I have like 2 sort of strands near the back, and then I tie the rest up into sort of a bun, but it's not a bun, it's like a coil, if anything. And then I got like this long front fringe thing. Anyway, the personality I got was, I don't know which one it is, reserved, aloof, introvert or something. Which I did see that, and I was like, huh, okay. Like, some of it I can kind of see. I can be decently aloof, but I would definitely say I'm a more reserved rather than expressive person. Introvert's a very interesting one. Because I think that, like, certainly if you knew me when I was much younger, people would be like, yes, definitely introverted. But nowadays, I think most people guess I'm extroverted, but I'm like, no, I'm actually introverted. I just like being social. I just like doing things. But I still appreciate, I think the best way, people always used to say introverted is shy, but extroverted is like outgoing and social, but then people were like, no, that's not really true. Introverted is like you recharge your social battery by being yourself, and extroverted is you recharge it by being with others. And that's, also fair, but I think a very nice descriptor of it or something is like, you get more from the world from self or inner reflection, or from like observing the world, not observing the world, but engaging with the world around you in a way. Engaging with your inner world or engaging with the outer world is what not necessarily brings you most joy, I think, but it's sort of, I don't know, I can't remember the exact phrasing, because you're like spiritual wholeness or something, which I think is a very ambiguous term, which is perhaps why I like that descriptor of it so much. Anyway, I don't actually know what, let's look up it. Tomodachi personality types. Tomodachi a new life, is that what it's called? Personality types. I will say, my character though, like, she's so shy and nervous, and I'm just like, okay, like, come on. Am I that shy and nervous in real life? No, maybe like me when I was like, I don't know, somewhere in the range of 10 to 13, but nowadays, I wouldn't say I am. Nowadays, if anything, I would say I'm quite cold. But probably just because I said I speak extremely politely and I tend to be quite serious. Although I do realise now that it's a very weird spectrum, so maybe it's not entirely accurate. I mean, personality quizzes never are entirely accurate, but they are fun to have like some general ideas of categorization, right? Because I have realised now, like, the attitude scale is from serious to relaxed, which in my mind it should be from like serious to like silly or something. Because relaxed has a very different vibe to me. Like, it should be like relaxed to intense, but it's flat to intense. Like, because when I say I'm pretty serious, yes. When I say I'm pretty relaxed, yes, as well. So, but like, it's a diametrically opposed spectrum. I can only put one from one side or the other. I can't, or in one direction or the other. I can't be like both. Because the first one's moving slow to quick. I put slightly slow on this, I don't know, it kind of depends what I'm doing, I suppose. I feel like for my day-to-day life though, I will go like a slow, like nice, consistent, slow pace. I'm not like frantically doing anything. But when it's like go time, then I'll be like bam, 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 bam. My speech is polite to direct, which also I feel like aren't diametrically opposed to each other. I feel like I'm pretty polite, but I'm also somewhat direct, I think. Well, that's not actually true. I think that also depends, because I'm like, it depends on what sort of direct you mean. Because I guess in this case it means direct as in like brutally honest sort of thing, which I would say I'm not brutally honest necessarily. I tend to be quite flowery with my language, which I guess is kind of the opposite of directness, now I think about it. So maybe polite is right. I've talked myself around into it. I think it's just more like I tend to be somewhat pragmatic with what I say. But yeah, flat versus intense, yes, I'm very much flat in energy rather than intense in energy. Attitude, serious to relaxed. I put myself as very serious. Maybe I should have put myself as very relaxed. I don't really know which direction is best to go in. Then normal to quirky, I think I put myself as somewhat quirky. I don't remember. Off the top of my head. I mean, the way I would describe myself is like, I wouldn't say I'm like quirky, but maybe I would say I'm like offbeat sometimes. I'm a syncopated rhythm. Anyway, so what other types here? Leader, busy bee, headstrong individualist. Okay. Carer, dreamer, softy, optimist. Charmer, adventurer, hot-blooded, bubbly. Introvert, perfectionist, patient thinker. Okay, well, from all of these, I'd probably say I'm a perfectionist, if anything. Well, I mean, you can narrow it down by group. Am I a leader, busy bee, headstrong, or individualist? That's interesting. I'm not sure which of these I would say. I would probably say I'm leaning towards the leader more than the others. Busy bee, I can be in a certain direction. Because I do see myself as a pretty diligent and productive and efficient person, excellent planner. I'm a decent planner, you know. I don't plan everything out in life, you know. I feel like I have a mix of planning and improvisation as things go. But maybe that's because some of the people I know are like extreme planners. So I'm comparing myself to them. I don't know. Am I an individualist? That doesn't feel quite right looking at these descriptors here. And then, okay, in the second category, I would say, which of these am I? Carer, dreamer, softie, optimist? It's probably carer from this. It feels very Myers-Briggs, Myers-Briggs-esque is what I was going to say. 16 personalities and all that. Charmer, adventurer, hot-blooded, bubbly. This would probably be charmer. I don't think I'd say it. I'm definitely not hot-blooded. Adventurer feels a bit off. Bubbly? Probably not. An introvert, perfectionist, patient, or thinker. Probably is perfectionist looking at these. Patient's also actually pretty reasonable. As well, I'm not going to lie. Actually, I'm kind of surprised I didn't get patient looking at it. Like, because this one has like which things you should put down to get this result. The patient one lines up pretty well. that almost seems like it fits, in my opinion, a little bit better than intro. But hey, you know, such is the way of the whims of a personality test. I can't remember exactly what I put, so maybe I put things in a lot more harsher degree than necessarily would have been the case. I also didn't realise that was a personality test. I thought it would be like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, where it'd be like, oh, here's a question, and then you answer the question, and then it's like, oh, here's your result. Which is also another quiz that we did do a while back. It was literally just in the customization options for the person. It was like you're setting your height, your weight, and then like your voice. There's a lot of customizability, I will say, in this game, which is very impressive. And then it was just like, oh, you know, like personalities. And I was like, oh, I guess this is just like how they move and stuff. And it was like, this is your personality. And I was like, okay. I wonder, wait, are these based off Myers-Briggs? Because I'm genuinely looking at it. And I'm like, it looks very much like it's based off Myers-Briggs. I will say that I did experiment in Tomodachi Life being like, if I was to dip dye my hair, what colour would I get? And I will say, I am leaning towards the platinum white or icy blue. I think they do look the best. What can I say? How does this release? Can we change our personality in the demo? Interesting. They have different descriptors, I think, of a power in the North American version. That's interesting. Observer. Wait, hold on. Tomodachi Life. Is it MBTI? It really looks like it's Myers-Briggs, to be honest. Independent thinker. Wait, no. What am I? Introvert. That's not even an option. Is this the old Myers-Briggs? Tomodachi Life Living the Dream Personality Database. Oh, here we go. Hugh, Morris, Angie. Who the heck are these people? What? I guess these are NPCs in the game? The Tomodachi Life Myers-Briggs chart. Okay. Yeah, this is the old version, isn't it? Hold on, what's this new one? It's called Living the Dream. It's not called A New Life. Living the Dream. Someone's probably linked them up at this point, surely. Oh, here we go. Someone's made a Reddit chart. So which one's this one? Okay, so I said I would be a perfectionist, which is ISFP. I can tell, so it gave me, what did it give me? It gave me ISTP, observer, which is not very like me. I'm an INFJ, which is apparently a daydreamer. I'm somewhere between, like, I've already done Myers-Briggs. I think I spoke about it about 3 years ago or something. How much stock do I put into it? Not a lot. While I do think there are, like, general trends that you can see in certain, like, demographics, I suppose. Not demographics, but certain, like, groupings that you can put in personality of people being, like, outgoing versus less outgoing, right? Why, if that can really have that much of a say over what your personality type is questionable, I think. Outside of literally what the actual descriptor itself is. So I would say, but it's all in good fun, right? If we end up working on that pretense. The last time I took a Myers-Briggs, I'm INFJ, although I'm pretty sure I often get pretty close to INTJ and pretty close to EN. Like, I'm somewhere about N and J are, like, locked in, and I is probably right. Sometimes it leans, but it's pretty close to E. And F is probably right, but it's also pretty close to T, all things considered. But this seems to think I'm ISTP, which I would say is not very right. Like, if I'm to use a Myers-Briggs equivalence. That one is one I would say is certainly off. ISFP, like my own guess one, is also kind of off as well, to be honest. Daydreamer and thinker also don't sound right. So daydreamer, slow? It's probably just because I put things down as too far into the extremes. That's my guessing. Because I'd put slightly slow, I put very polite, I put pretty flat energy, and put pretty serious. But that's probably too extreme. All things considered. I don't even know how this works. I don't know. Maybe I did it, maybe I won't. We'll see. I'm probably not even going to play Tomodachi Life again. To get it next. It's interesting. Oh, my friends even replied about it. Seen people get yellow, orange. Mine is red, maybe orange? Pink, and yours now green. Maybe I'll just roll with it. I don't know. Like, I think it just caught me off guard. Like, I didn't even realize that was the personality test. This entire time, I had it in my head. Where I was like, oh, it's like this is a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon style thing. I do think it's funny though, and if anything, I will use it to go to show about like how ridiculous these Myers-Briggs things even are. Granted, this one was only for individual subjective sliders rather than actually asking about different types of like responses to actual situations, which I always find doing the quiz itself much more interesting than the actual result you get. Result is just more like a bit of fun, you know, we're kind of in the vein of horoscopes, I think. But actually, like, answering questions, I think is fun to be like, what would I do in this scenario? How do I, like, objectively evaluate myself regarding it? I don't know. I need to go look at what my me looks like as well now. Because now I'm curious how accurate it is. Because that Tomodachi Life version is actually pretty close to what I look like. All things considered. Anyway, that's it. Personality categorizations, it's fun. It's fun. I say it's fun to think about in the concept of fictional characters. It doesn't really apply all that well to real people, but you can get at least a general sort of idea of how a person either perceives or represents their personality. But that doesn't necessarily give anything more than the actual categorizations of which the personality scale is judging things on. That's my opinion on personality things, which is basically TLDR. Don't base your life decisions on it, but it's a lot of fun. You know, why not? We're human beings. We like to categorize things, right? Anyway, I'm going to round this episode off here, so if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Adam crossing new horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.